Disney Pixar's Coco is a great family movie. With humor aimed for all ages, it was a hit in the box office. The story takes place in Mexico with a little boy named Miguel. Miguel is struggling to follow his passion of being a musician due to his family banning music from their lives. This ban was placed when Miguel's great-great-grandfather left the family to go play music. Because of the betrayal of his great-great-grandfather, the family started making a shoe business. And the shoemaking business was created because when Miguel's great-great-grandfather left, the other job that his great-great-grandmother had was making shoes. So it was a family tradition, so the whole family wanted Miguel to be in the shoemaking business. However, Miguel didn't want to do that. He wanted to play music like his great-great-grandfather. It's sort of a cliche that the boy wants to follow his dreams, but his family doesn't agree. I mean, that happens in a lot of movies. However, Pixar decided to make the story about more of the effect on his family rather than Miguel's success to become a musician. So it didn't focus mostly on his goals to be a musician, but it focused on how it affected the family throughout the movie. Another thing I really enjoyed about Coco was the vibrant colors and the animation in the movie. The movie's about the Day of the Dead, so the director Lee Unkrich decided to add as much color and comic relief as possible to a sad-ish holiday. It's also a kids movie, so Unkrich took the approach to educate kids on the history of the Day of the Dead from a lighthearted perspective with music and dancing and not a lot of sad moments. However, this movie hit the spot for me because it was a build-up of character development, and all the way to the end, the characters were dynamic. The end of the movie was very emotional, like most Pixar movies, but this ending made me really want to go hug my parents and thank them for everything that they do for me. The most dynamic character in the movie was Hector, and Hector played a role where he was like a mentor to Miguel in the underworld. And Hector started out as like a grumpy old man who was kind of a criminal character, like he was trying to cheat his way to get across to the living world. Throughout the movie, he warms up and becomes more of a compassionate character, and he does that through spending time with Miguel and learning that, you know, there's good in people, that he should be like that. Unkrich created a well-rounded set of characters in the film that I think is the best Pixar film that I've ever seen. There are also unnecessary characters in the film, though, such as Dante, which is Miguel's like dog. It's just there for children, I'm assuming, because Dante doesn't really have any role or any meaning in the movie. But children are amused by pets, so Pixar said, why not? I would give this movie about 4.5 out of 5 stars. The reason why I would take half points off would be because I thought that there could have been more time talking about his family and less time of Miguel in the underworld. I felt that it's important to know the background story before you jump into a movie, and in this movie, there was very little amount of, you know, this is Miguel's family, this is how they are right now. It was more like, alright, here's Miguel's family, and now we're gonna go into the underworld type thing. So, another thing I thought that Lee Unkrich did really well in this movie was the soundtrack. A really good movie can be rated based on their soundtrack, and a person like me who like really loves music, I was really attracted to this movie because of that reason. The soundtrack had really authentic songs, you know, that were close to the Mexican culture, as well as children-friendly songs that are catchy tunes, easy to memorize, get stuck in your head super easily. I thought that's a really important role in children's movies, as well as a movie that will make an impact on people. I think that a safe comparison for Coco would be the movie Up, which is another Pixar movie, and in the beginning of the movie Up, the man loses his wife, and he has to go on with life and get through that struggle. And similarly in Coco, it's a movie clearly about the Day of the Dead, so people trying to not forget about their people, their loved ones in their life. And this was also really historically accurate in the movie Coco because they set up an ofrenda, which is a thing during Dia de los Muertos that families set up. It's like a table, and they put things on the table that the people that have died in their family enjoyed, such as like food that was their favorite, or, you know, albums or artwork that they loved to attract them to come back to the living world. So I think it's safe to say you can compare those two, because in Up, He never forgets his wife, and he does everything for his wife, just like people do for the Day of the Dead. So if you haven't seen the movie Coco, do yourself a favor and give it a watch, because it attracts both adults and children, and it's a really good, afternoon type movie to get you in the feels and emotional spirit to love your family. It's also a really good movie to watch with your family on top of by yourself. So go ahead and give this movie a watch.